Hello again, YouTube family, and welcome back to another live stream. We're playing Minecraft, obviously, and we are going to. If you clicked on the video, welcome back. And if you're here, you're going to see some power generation today. It's time for us to get our power situation squared away so that we can move into refined storage next. If you watched the last video, cool. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys so very much. You'll notice that this guy is completely done. I had to change a few things from the build that we worked on originally. I redid this basement. It was going way too fast and it was completely unnecessary. And there's a Easter egg for Mickey Mouse, right? That's a Walt Disney World, Walt Disney Easter egg. Not really, but it just worked that way. It was going way too fast. So came down here, we re-geared it so that it moves a lot slower. As you'll notice, we have Terra Preta, I'm not really sure how to say it, for cyclic. This will cause stuff to grow faster. We put it completely under the tree farm and completely under the wheat farm. And we also are doubling up the wheat farm a different way. We have these things placed down called sprinklers, also from Cyclic. They provide like a watering can effect. So basically, with the soil, with the terra preta underneath, and the sprinkler, we're getting a heck of a boost on growing crops. Over here, we have a massive tree farm, and there is a bunch of cutting wheels in there that will take this thing down. We'll actually run it in just a second and show you that. In fact, let me go ahead and kick it on. It may lag us just a little bit, and that's cool. This thing is interesting in the way that it sometimes won't cut all the wheats. That guy right there, it just refuses. It's in its path, but it absolutely refuses to do anything with it. So whatever. We have the beginning set up for our storage. We're using storage drawers to do that. As you can see, we have been busy letting this thing run. I have a copper and a gold upgrade in here, which will allow us to store 262,000 wheat, which I'm not really good at math, but that seems like a lot of them. We'll be able to store 16.4 thousand wheat seeds. I don't know that we need that many wheat seeds, but whatever. There, that thing went. If you are using storage drawers like this and you're doing some bananas levels stuff, just remember to throw void upgrades in there, because if you don't throw void upgrades in, then you will end up overrunning. If you like tie it to refined storage as an example, you'll overrun your refined storage very quickly. Why did we want so much of this, and why did we want it going so quickly? We're going to jump into Ars Nouveau eventually, and I have found that using whatever the relay or source link or whatever it's called that does that gives you source from crop growth, when you double and triple it up this way, that creates an awesome Ars Nouveau source generation method. But you can see this guy is growing very, very fast. It will be infinite. So as long as this dude spins, we're just cranking out the wheat. Over here, similarly, that terra preta causes trees to grow insanely quickly. That thing is spinning around. By the time it gets back around, there are the other trees that have already grown. That's absolutely bananas. We are on our way to 393,000 oak logs. We did a gold upgrade and we did a copper upgrade, so it's going to hold tons of them, voids. We're voiding the rest of the apples. Once we get up to 2,000, we're going to have 16.4 thousand saplings, and then we're going to void 2,000, 2,000. And then I have a little bit of a system here using laser IO. This guy is generating charcoal, and we will go up to 2,000 charcoal, and then eventually it will back stuff and we'll stop generating more charcoal. But using this tree farm and setting it up in a way that's clever allows us to basically have infinite charcoal, dead simple. So laser IO is bringing in some item cards. It is allowing us to basically filter what we're bringing in. So we always keep in stock oak saplings. We'll always technically keep one of these in stock too, but the reason we have to do that is because it is a real filter. And then the down is doing the heavy lifting on, let's see, down is bringing in 8 charcoal. It's also bringing in a half a stack of oak logs, and then it's also doing the extract. So it's a pretty simple setup, but this allows us to basically, once we get all this tied into refined storage, we will have an infinite charcoal supply. We will have an infinite supply of the rest of these dudes. No big deal. I'm going to turn this off for now so that we can keep the lag to a minimum because it is absolutely banging it out. So we're doing power today. As you can see, and from stuff I showed you guys before, I was making loads of yellorium ingots. I have extra glass. We've been making graphite bar like there's no tomorrow. We've had the iron farm running since early on, and I idle quite a bit to keep it running. As you can see, this thing is just absolutely smashing it out. It doesn't look like there's very much over here, and that's actually because I have moved most of the iron consistently over here. So as you can see, we have like 1.2 thousand iron blocks. I forget what that works out to, but let's just pretend it's like 10 or 12,000 iron at our disposal. So you need a lot of iron, you need a lot of graphite to make reactor casings and things like that. As an example, for each reactor casing, you need, oh, those are reinforced. I was like, no, I don't have that. You need iron and you need graphite and sand. So we went over to Sandland and we got a bunch of sand. One of the cool parts about getting the charcoal is because if you smelt charcoal, you get graphite bars. So we basically have an iron golem farm over there, which is churning out infinite amounts of iron. We have a tree farm that's making charcoal, which when we smelt it downstairs, I'm just bringing it over here by the stack, and when we smelt it downstairs, we get graphite bars. So we're basically churning out resources at a speed that is it's pretty insane. So we are going to build a extreme reactor today. We have a energy tap. We have a few redstone ports. We'll be using this to hang on just 1 second. Yeah, we'll be using the energy ports, redstone ports to do a control setup. Solid access ports, that gets us in and out of it. Some reactor fuel rods, some control rods, and then a reactor controller. So assuming that I did any of this right, which is a big assumption, we should, excuse me, buddy, we should be ready. I need to figure out how to get in here. So if I just guess at it. Oh, by the way, I also made a Paxel. Paxels are kind of cool because, so I just need to go forward a few blocks and right 2 blocks. So I'm going to drop down here. I don't want to keep doing that. So I need to figure out how to get to these steps. Anyways, Paxels are kind of cool. Are we there? We're almost there. Because it is a axe, a shovel, and a pickaxe all in one. Can I get out of here? Oh, crap. I just have one more. Shovel, pickaxe, and axe all at once. It considers itself the appropriate tool for any and all of them, which is, again, kind of neat. We need some torches. Do I have any torch? I need to get another... in fact, let's go do that really fast. You guys know I can run upstairs. I want a feral flare lantern again. I want to jam another one down there. So I need glowstone, gold, and what did it just say? Glowstone, gold, and glass. Okay, cool. Glowstone. So I need 2. I may even had one of these. Glowstone was here. I don't remember how many it said. Let's just knock out one of these guys. Cool beans. Throw that away. My trash can went away somehow. If you know how to bring it back in the comments, tell me. I don't know how to bring it back. So what I mean is there used to be a trash can that showed up here and it's probably something really dumb. I probably pushed a key and made it go away, and I didn't mean to. And I'm sad face emoji about that. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and just. Guess it doesn't really matter where I put it exactly, but I'll just jam it up there. Cool. We get rid of these minor lights so they're not in the way. And then that guy should light up everything in a 16 block radius. So it should keep this room lit up. It should keep this hallway more than lit up as well. If you have any way to tick accelerate those guys, you can do that, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. So what are we going to build? We're going to build an extreme reactor down here, and we're going to build a 5x5. I am never sure when it says 5x5 if that means the inside dimension or outside dimension can only be a maximum of 5x5, but let's pretend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that kind of centers it in the room. 2, 3, 4, 5, and that centers it in the room. It's like I meant to do that, and I can assure you I sort of just came down here and just sort of winged it a little bit. Let's get rid of these blocks. I had to block this in, so I'm going to regret doing this, but that's okay. I want to push this back just a little bit. What are we doing here? Okay, that should do that. All right, cool. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time rebuilding rooms, but I want to get this thing to where it's okay, right? Okay. You good? You good there? You good? You're good. Let's block this thing in. I need to build a building gadget, which would make some of this go faster. I'm just doing that so that when we come down here, it gives us a little faster access to what we're going to do. So this is going to be the front for all intents and purposes. Remember, again, we're doing 5x5. So this is 1, and this would be 2 and 3 and 4. Can't do it. 1. So 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. So that goes like that, like this, right? We're going to build this thing pretty quick. It's why I wanted to go ahead and make sure I had probably all the pieces. Am I guaranteeing that I have all the pieces? Absolutely not. I screw that up on a very consistent basis. Math is hard. Get out of here. I need my Paxel back. Break that. I made some reactor glass. Yep. And we're going to put it here. Boom, 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 boom. And then we're going to put our controller right here. And anytime you're building a multi-structure, if you haven't ever built a multi-structure block, it'll give you some particle effects when you do it right, and it won't give you particle effects until you build it right. Let's see. So we have reactor control rods, and these go in the top. So I should be able to do this like this. Right? Yep. That should be right. And then I need to build these guys, which are, what are they called? Fuel rods. So these are the things that inside the reactor will actually hold Oh, wait, I want to make sure I don't do that. These are reactor casings. Do I have graphite blocks? Graphite blocks are going to work as the coolant, sort of. So what you want to do, you can use a bunch of different coolants, and I don't pretend to know what they all are, so I'm not even going to try. But what you want to do is make sure you fill in all of your blank space with the coolant that you anticipate using. And there's a bunch of different ones out there. You just need to make sure you're using something. Graphite, again, we already talked about. Simple was cheap. I had loads of it at my disposal. I want to say we're already done, except now it may give us particle effects. Yep, it didn't give us particle effects, but it is already actually good. Now, a couple problems. Problem one is we didn't give ourselves any way to get fuel in or out. So we got to break this thing. I lied about the particle effects, apparently. I'm a liar. Just like Ep8 is, it's a liar, and power blocks are a liar. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. You should go back and watch some of the previous videos. So we're going to do reactor ports, right? This guy, we're going to make the outlet, and this guy, we're going to make the inlet. The outlet will stick out, will eject our waste, and the inlet will accept. Wait, this is inlet, right? Yes, it will accept Elorium. We need more. We need more and more and more. I don't want you here. I need you to be gone because I don't like you very much. So we're not going to do that this time. We're going to just run up these stairs. There should be some more. Let's take a nap real quick so nothing comes down here and surprises us. There should be more in here. Yep, a whole lot more. And what I need to get is a hopper. Do I have all the things required to build a hopper? I sure do. Sure do. So we want to build a hopper real quick. Show you. We're going to put a hopper on the side of that. I think if I put a chest on the other one, it will also do what I wanted to do. I'll show you guys that real quick. So get out of here. Nobody likes you. So this is our inlet. So if I take a hopper and I jam it on here, right, shift click, I shoot. Now, he should just keep adding. What's happening is these rods are filling up, right? You can see them. They should just about be full. Yeah, so this dude is filling up. If we want to speed this process up, we can do that. And now it's stuck. So no more of the Elorium is going in there. I'll get the rest of this and fill it up. Now I should also be able to take this chest and jam it right here. Now when that thing tries to eject, it should eject right into this chest. I pretend that will work. And what I can do is make another chest. I can make another chest. Remember when we talked about how there was going to be like a bajillion of these things laying around, which is not a made up, it's a made up number, but whatever. So on top of here, put another chest. That way now we can get all of our Elorium and punch it into that chest. And then it will, for the rest of forever, that'll work. It will, for the rest of forever, feed into the system. Now, we'll have to get some more Elorium eventually, but I can tell you that the amount of Elorium we have is a lot. Let's see if we can just speed that up. I don't know why that bothers me, but it does because it just takes for stinking ever. Anyways, so it should last a good long while. Cool. So now we're filled up. We actually technically have a reactor that is just fine. What we're going to do is we needed the reactor ports and the power tap. So the reactor ports, I pretend, are going to go here and here and Let's just pretend this one's going to go here. The power tap can technically go anywhere. I like to put it on top, but on this build, it's going to be a little bit difficult to put on top, so we will just put it here. Now that allows us to actually tap to get our power out. The redstone, we're going to use these three guys to actually create a not very sophisticated, but a control method so that the reactor doesn't waste any energy. It comes on at certain thresholds and goes off at certain thresholds. But just for the fun, we're going to go ahead and turn it on. That was a very, very quick build. I told you it was going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy, but that was a very quick build. So let's go ahead and turn it on and just see what kind of power we're going to get as far as output. So these things kick on and it takes a minute for it to kind of stabilize to where it's going to be. Once the temperature gets up to a certain point, it's going to show us how much of this yellorium we are going to burn per tick. Looks like we're going to be at the 0.10 per tick, and it looks like we're creating 3.6 thousand RF per tick. So 3,600 RF per tick, which is pretty amazing. That's going to be very easy for us to deal with. Wow. So that's going to work out nicely. I'm going to turn this guy off now. It's going to be storing energy. It's not generating energy, but as you can see, it's 100% full. We should have stopped it a little bit quicker, of course. It's 100% full, and it's got 1.1 million RF in it. And so we were actually, technically, we were wasting some energy there. Scram. Now, one thing that I don't remember, and I'm just claiming total ignorance here. How do I... Can I click on these? Yes. Okay. The current... The control rods are... okay. So the way I think I can explain this is if I change this percentage up to... Let's say we change them to 25% and we change all, right? Yeah? Oh, no. Change all. Okay. Now, by doing that, we're trying not to die here. By doing that, I think if I turn this back on, now it's wasteful, right? But if I turn this back on, it won't be generating as much. I don't even remember the number, but let's pretend I said 3,000 something. I think at 25%, it will generate less. Now, yes, it's going to generate less. And how I know that is, okay, so it's going to stop now at about 3,000 RF a tick. And you can see we're burning, I'm going to shut it off, but you can see we went from burning 0.110 something to about 0.08. So you can use these control rods to control the burn. So if I really only want to get, let's pretend I really only need 1,000 RF per tick. Let's just see for fun. Oh, I didn't mark this, but how many did we output? Is it going to eject? So we still haven't even created one waste yet. We're going to keep an eye on this because every one of these wastes that we eject means that's one full ingot of yellorium that we've used, and we still haven't used one yet. We've generated 1 million RF and we still haven't used one, so that's really cool. But before we get too much deeper into this, we're going to work on, like I said, we're going to have a control method that will be quasi interesting, And we will have a, let's see, I need to push this out one more. We'll have our control method, which will be interesting, and we will have, we need to get a battery of some kind. So let's go look at our, I think when I did this last time, I need to do something like this. I'm trying to remember. It's fine. I'll work out this part of it. I can't remember off the top of my head how I did this last time, but push that out so it's out of the way. But essentially, because the reason we're going to do this is we're going to bring our signals over here, and we're going to control our signals in a way. This is our power tap. And what I want to do is get, and we may jump into Flux networks sooner rather than later, but this at least gets us, let's see what kind of power options we have. What do we want? Like a cell, perhaps? An energy cell? What was that stupid thing? Battery? The battery? It's not a battery. It's not a battery. What was that thing? Was it a cell? Energy cell? Basic? Was that it? I'll have to figure that out too. Let's see. Well, let's look at extreme. These are the reactors, but is there a thing that accepts energy? Nope, we're page 1 of 1. Is there turbine rotors? No, this is all just glass, and this is how you build them. Was it maybe, did Flux have one? That Flux, does Flux have one? Basic Flux storage can store a lot. These guys can actually store flux plugs, flux points. We're going to get into that pretty quickly. Flux controller. What does it take to build this guy? So he can store 2 million. This guy can store 14 million. And 6 of those is 12. So you get a, that wasn't what I used. I'm going to have to figure out what I used last time. Storage. You're gargantuan. I cannot remember what that storage unit was called, but we'll figure it out. We need to not run the power too much longer, and then we are going to jump into refined storage next. So in our next episode, we are going to go into refined storage. We're going to get, as a matter of fact, so I can just pop over here, and you're gone, you're gone, and 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 you're actually gone too, and you're gone, because we've pretty much got all that stuff done. We're going to skip this. I made a magmatic dynamo, but not terribly interesting now. Destruction gadget will be nice. What do I need? Oh, that's right. Ender pearls. The other thing we need to jump into, what is that thing called? A rotten egg? Yep. We need some cursed feed. Surprise, surprise. We're going to get into a early game mob farm. One of the reasons why we're getting power situation squared away is we want to start building some storage and cool stuff infrastructure. Did I already do that? I did this. I have tier 3, right? Yeah, I do. Is there a tier 4? You need to be out of here. But is there a tier 4? Oh, it's netherite, right? Yeah, no, another star. It requires nether stars, which is absolutely bananas. 64 different items, and it will hold, what is that? 1,048,000 of each. That's a crazy amount. We probably aren't going to do that one. I mean, we may, but um, maybe not. Because one of the things we're going to do in refined storage is get mobile storage available to us, and this pocket storage will sort of become less interesting. But anyways, GM chicken feed. If you've never seen this, this is why we did the pylon into a tank, because to make a sack of GM chicken feed, we need 4 buckets of experience, and you basically take this stuff and you feed it to a chicken, and then the chicken blows up and creates a rotten egg. And when you get a rotten egg, you can create a 5x5 area of dreadful dirt. And dreadful dirt, assuming the light levels are low enough, will allow mobs to spawn recklessly. And then we will use a mod called Mob Utilities, and Mob Utilities gives you a bunch of, not a bunch, but it gives you ways to kill mobs very quickly and very easily, so that we will be able to round the bin on stuff. One of the things that we just don't have right now are some mob drops that we want. One of those, the chiefest of those, being ender pearls. So we can make the destruction gadget, and we might, and the build gadget, destruction gadget, and the building gadget. So we're going to add you two. A couple diamonds. Matter of fact, we can make that pretty easily, but we'll get into those soon. Right now, I am going to try to figure out what storage unit was interesting. We'll also get into flux storage, or flux points and flux plugs. That will allow us to transmit energy simply. Leave me a comment. Hold on just a second. Just saying some hi to our guys in the chat. Cool, I love that. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this crate farm. I think it's cool. Like I said, it's going to benefit our Ars Nouveau setup in the future. We also have in a, let's see, probably next episode, we're going to work on refined storage. We'll have power squared away. We're going to work on refined storage. And over here, we are going to build a more permanent residence for our villagers. I'm going to at least demolish these 2 buildings altogether, which then will create some space for us to make a home for our villagers, a home that they will get to live in for the rest of forever. We're got a couple cool plans for that. But so we got a mob farm coming up. We got power that has just arrived. We have our create farm that is going to be generating infinite amounts of these resources. Got some big things coming up. So go ahead and smash the like button, of course. Subscribe if this is your first video. Go back and watch the other videos if you haven't watched any of them. And then leave me a comment and let me know what you think. When we come back next time, I will show you this control method and what it does and how it does it. So just like we've been doing in the videos, we'll sort of wrap up the thing that we finished before, and then we'll bounce right into a new project, which should be refined storage, because I need to get that going sooner rather than later. But for now, just remember, be nice to each other. There's a lot of too much negativity and mean stuff in the world. So be nice to each other. It doesn't cost anything to be nice to people. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you in the next video.